So this is going to be the first in a new series that I'm going to be doing. I call this Silver Age Story Time, and I'm going to go through DC Silver Age stories, which is my favorite period in comic book history. I love it. I think it's goofy, it's crazy, it's creative. Others may not like the Silver Age, but to each his own. I love it. So I'm going to go through this. I'm going to start with The Secret of the Space Souvenirs from Superman 122. This was published in July 1958, written by Otto Binder and art by Al Plastino. So it starts off, Superman has many important duties in Metropolis and around the Earth daily. But one day, why does he drop everything and speed into space? Gathering amazing souvenirs from other planets. Well, that's what Superman himself would like to know. Yes, even the Man of Steel is baffled when strange mental commands force him to obey a mysterious master. What is the secret of the space souvenirs? So we see Superman and Lois Lane. So this is something that takes place in the story. We have the, puppet master controlling him, a literal representation, or I guess it'd be figurative representation of him being controlled. So we start with Clark Kent at the Daily Planet, and all of a sudden he gets this strange compulsion. I must leave my desk. There is something I must do right now. So you could tell by the swirls above his head that he's not in his right mind. Off he flies to Saturn, where he grabs the musical minerals, brings them back to Earth to be put in a time capsule. He says, put this in too, gentlemen, the musical mineral from Saturn. And they're very confused because that was not supposed to be something put in the time capsule. And I will say this time capsule is pretty massive. I don't think too many time... What is that? Oh, it's a model of a... I was going to say, are they... Is the car that small? Okay, so it's a model. They're a little bit... I think that they're not real super happy about being forced to put in this item. So all of a sudden, so this is later on, and all of a sudden Superman gets that crazy feeling again, and you could see the swirls above his head. And he says, a spell of dizziness overcame me, and oh my gosh, it's happening again. Must go into space again to the planet Uranus. And so Lois Lane is not happy. He flies to Uranus and finds a six-legged horse, and then brings that back to Earth to also be put in. Seems like a living creature. Oh, no, I'm sorry. It's a fossil. It's a fossil, so it's not alive. He brings that back. Okay, so he's gone to Saturn, Uranus. Now he's showing off his super strength for kids, and it happens again, and he flies off. Oh, gee, Superman let us down. And he flies to Pluto this time. He's forced to, under compulsion, and grabs giant snowflakes and then brings them back. But in order to appease the kids, which he bailed out on, he throws them around. He's throwing them like boomerangs. So that's what he does. And he's putting big signs up to show each one of the items he brought back. And he's going to, let's see, all of a sudden he just starts flying off again. Hey, there goes Superman into trance again. But he's not flying into space. No, he's staying on Earth this time. And he goes down to Atlantis, where he says, the life-size statue proves the people of Atlantis were tiny, only 6 inches high. They used flying saucer ships. See, I originally thought that this was like a statue because it's kind of gold-colored, but that actually is Superman. And he's all yellow, I guess, just supposed to show the color under the water. So I think this may be the only time they claim the Atlanteans were 6 inches tall. So now he's brought back to Earth, and Lois has decided, she's figured out what's going on, and she knows where he'll go next. He's going to go to Rhea, a moon of Saturn. Mark my words, Superman. And he says, is Lois making a wild guess? So the question is, can anyone listening to this figure out what did Lois Lane figure out? And it's actually not that hard. And with Superman's super brain, it's kind of makes him look a little dim-witted. So he flies off finds a knotted tree, and it is amazing. Apparently, life has flourished just about everywhere in our galaxy. You were right, Lois, but can't fathom where I'll go when even I don't know. How can you fathom? So next he goes to, as she predicts, he's going to go to Mars, then Ariel, a moon of Uranus, and so he brings back from Mars a statue, and then he's helping out because a tiger has escaped, but he has that compulsion again. But he swats a meteor down to. I like this. This guy says, "Look, that meteor crashed and made a pit like an animal trap. The tiger will fall in. Then he could be captured alive and returned to his cage." That's a lot of dialogue for an event that seems like it would happen quite quickly. So Superman's still confused. How in the world is Lois figuring out where he's going? So can anyone figure it out? So the final one he goes to is Neptune, which apparently there's life on Neptune also, way out there in space. So we see all the items all laid out, and which makes Superman look even more dim-witted because it clearly spells out Superman. Each planet or moon he went to spells out his own name. And now this is really silly, but it's so Silver Age, because if Lois Lane knows where he's being compelled to go, why would she keep it a secret? Now, we do learn that she does it so that she can get the scoop on the news item or the story, but she really should be telling Superman if he's being forced to, even though it seems benign. And we learn that it was a being from the 50th century. They wanted something to memorialize Superman, which is weird because all they are is items from celestial bodies that spell out his name. So it's a really weird desire for them. And they said, "But we knew you would be too modest to comply if we asked you directly." Okay. So we sent mental commands across the time barrier to your mind, powered by kryptonite, which is a really, I love Otto Bender, but he massively overuses kryptonite. And then this gigantic time capsule is put in, and since they are in the future, they are now immediately going to open it and get all these items. And he says, "So that's it. Historical records told the future people where all those space souvenirs existed, and they commanded me to round them up." So apparently, using their mind control, they're actually able to alter the future, since this time capsule presumably did not have those items in it until they compelled him to put it in. And he says, "I can't reveal the truth about my trance, how the future men arranged it to honor me. It would seem too conceited of me." And then Lois says, "I'll bet Superman staged this whole phony compulsions to cover up that he wanted to impress the people of the future with his space trophies." Well, how the hell did she know that? Ouch, I can't win. Okay. And this is, of course, Silver Age silliness at its best. There's so many flaws in this story, but it's just fun. The art is great. I love it. It's a lot of groan-worthy stuff in here, but that's the Silver Age. So this has been Superman 122 from July 1958.